Hi, my name is Mary Cole with Good Story Company, and I'm here today to talk about an idea phase discussion of how to write. And this may seem like a really strange topic to be covering, but everybody starts somewhere. And so I often get more granular questions about the writing process, but how to write is also a really good question, and one that I'm not sure I've seen addressed in such broad terms. So I've been working with writers for about 10 years, over 10 years now. And I would say that we can't expect perfection right away from our writing, but a lot of people do. Instead, my favorite Terry Pratchett quote is, the first draft is the writer telling themselves the story, which I completely believe in. And so I like to encourage people to tell the story to themselves, no matter how that happens, no matter what that looks like, if it's NaNoWriMo, getting a manuscript out there, because you don't actually know what you're working with until you get it down. And so one of the things that I really want to float is that no matter how it happens, the first draft does not have to be held to such high standards. Just get it on the page. Just sit your butt down, do that butt in chair time, and get writing. It doesn't have to necessarily have a shape yet. You don't necessarily have to have everything figured out. How to write is a combination of diligence, of forming a habit, committing to that time, to getting your writing out into sort of out of your head and onto the page, imagination, and a little bit of bravery. A little bit of courage. I think that so many people, I think the New York Times once did a survey, and about 80 to 90% of people say that they have a book inside of them, but many fewer people have actually created a manuscript, and even fewer people than that have done something with the manuscript, meaning revised it, taken it to the next steps of completion. And so it is such an undertaking to even scale that first wall of going from idea to having a manuscript that a lot of people get intimidated. The thing with writing, just sitting there, just writing, the trick is to not be in your head. As difficult as that may seem, do not let you get in the way of creating your writing. Do not let your ideas of what's good, what's bad, and do not let your ideas of what you want to do get in the way of just putting it on the page. I think that's really the first step. You can comb through everything, see what you actually have, and think about revising it and fine-tuning it, think about submission. All of that comes later. I want to take some of that burden of how to write off. You don't have to write like Hemingway as a first step. The first step is simply to put the words down on the page. It doesn't matter the order of the words. I mean, hopefully you're conveying some kind of basic meaning, but the beauty of the sentence level, all of these finer points of writing later. For now, how to write, you sit there and you ideally commit 10 minutes, 15 minutes every other day, once a week. Your weekend time, from, kind of like early morning time or late at night time, anything that you can spare to making this a practice and getting into the habit of writing. This is how the wheels start turning. And it's obviously easier said than done. We writers are in our heads all the time. We are stopping ourselves. We are getting in the way of ourselves and our progress. But these are the small actions that give you a novel, give you a picture book manuscript, give you a nonfiction article in X amount of time. But nothing begins until you begin. So that is my advice on how to write in the most basic sense of the word. My name is Mary Cole, and here's to a good story.